Hello friends, in today's video we're going to be servicing this Audi Q3. This is 2017 model Audi, and it's 1.4 petrol engine. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour in the engine flush. So we're using a Silverhook engine flush liquid to flush the engine. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour this whole bottle into the engine and leave the engine running for 5 minutes, and then we're going to drain the engine oil. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid back on and run the engine for approximately 5 minutes. Right, now that we have ran the engine for 5 minutes, so just going to go under the car to drain the engine oil. Right, so here we go. I've already taken the under tray off. So just going to show you the location for the drain plug, which is just here. So it's a 19mm drain plug, which we're going to remove. Also we're going to remove the oil filter, which is just situated here at the front. Right, so we're going to be using a 19mm socket to undo the drain plug. Right, so while we are running the engine oil, we're going to make sure that we remove the oil refill cap on the top of the engine, so that there isn't any vacuum buildup and the oil can flow out nicely. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new copper washer to the drain plug, and then we're going to insert the drain plug back in. There we go. That's the drain plug fully secured. Right, so next we're gonna change the oil filter. Right, just gonna clean the area before we fit the new oil filter. Here comes the new oil filter. We are using the Crossland make. There we go. So before we fit the new filter, we're gonna prime the seal here. So we're just gonna use that bit engine oil, apply it on the seal here like this. Okay, and then just gonna screw it in. There we go. So that's the oil filter, nicely been fitted. Just gonna tighten it further. There we go. That's nice and tight. It's not gonna go anywhere. Right, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the air filter, and for that what we need to do is we need to take this whole air filter housing out, and there are screws, 2 screws under, to remove the whole lid to change the air filter. So it's going to remove this clamp to start off with, then it's a 7mm socket to remove this jubilee clamp. Next what we're going to do is we're going to remove this vacuum pipe, which is it. There we go. So that's the vacuum pipe removed. So then what we're going to do is we're going to lift the whole thing out from the dampers. There we go. Next, just going to pull the housing from here, and then from this side here. There we go. So just going to turn it upside down. So 2 Phillips screws. And then this one on this side. Just gonna press the clip. That is. So that's this side open. Same on this side. There we go. That's the old air filter out of the way. Here comes the new air filter. We're using QH parts. So where we're gonna fit the filter is like this. Okay. Just gonna press it all the way down. Then the lid comes in place like this. So just gonna press the clips. Now this side. There we go. So just gonna screw the 2 Phillips screws. Perfect. That's all nice and tight. So the filter should fit on these studs. Just gonna leave it here as it is. We're gonna change the spark plugs and then we're gonna fit the air filter back on after changing the spark plugs, because we need to remove this pipe here, which is not letting us get access to the spark plug number 3 and 4. So in order to remove this pipe here, we're going to remove the clip clamp here. I'm just going to pull the pipe out. There we go. So now we have the full access to the 4 spark plugs. So we're going to be using number 10 socket to undo these 4 bolts which are holding the spark plugs. Just gonna pull the cord back out, dealing with one at a time. Okay, so that's cord back number 1. Right, so we're going to be using a 16mm magnetic socket to remove the spark plug number 1. There we go. So these are the spark plugs being changed first time in the car's life. They look proper worn out. Right, here comes the new spark plug number 1. We're using NGK laser platinum spark plugs. So to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to hand tighten it. There we go. So that's the spark plug fully secured. Just gonna put the coil pack back in to the slot. There we go. So we're gonna skew the coil pack with the 10mm bolt. There we go. So that's the coil pack number 1 fully secured. Let's use this tool to lift the coil pack and pull it out. 16mm socket. There we go. That's the spark plug number 2. As I mentioned before, again fully cooked, well used. There comes the new one. They were £17 each. Very expensive. That's because these are the performance spark plugs. Just gonna insert the spark plug number 2. There we go. That's spark plug number 2 fully secured. Just gonna insert the coil pack number 2 back into the slot. There we go. Just gonna put the bolt back in, which is holding the coil pack. There we go. That's the coil pack number 2 fully secured. So we're gonna move on to the coil pack number 3. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this tab here, and then I'm going to pull this connector off so that we can remove the vacuum pipe, put it to the side like this. So again, we're going to use this tool to lift the coil pack up, number 16 socket. There we go. That's the spark plug number 3. Here comes a new one. And I place it in here and tighten it to start off with so that we don't cross thread it. Just gonna tighten it. Right, that's nice and tight. Okay, so just gonna place the coil pack back into the slot. So I'm doing it one by one so that I don't drop anything inside the slot where the spark plug goes in. Just being careful. There we go. So just gonna slide it down here like this. And then the plug, the connector which I took off earlier, can go back here. The tab is pushed in nicely. So that's that fully secured. Alright, so just gonna pull out the coil pack number 4. Again, I'm gonna use the same trick to pull out the coil pack. Just pull it this way and then it just comes off. There we go. $16mm socket. There we go. That's the spark plug number 4. Again, can clearly see that they have gone past their limit. Fully cooked, well used. Spark plug number 4, NGK Platinum. Just gonna drive it in by hand to start with. There we go. So that's the spark plug number 4, fully home and secured. So just gonna insert the coil pack back into the slot. Then the 10mm bolt to secure the coil pack so that it doesn't pull out. During vibration. There we go. That's all nice and tight. So now what we're gonna do is, now that we have changed the spark plug here, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fit this pipe to start with. That's this pipe here, fully in. Right, so next we're going to fit this air filter box. We're going to make it sit on these 3 studs. 1, 2, 3. So just going to bring it over here. We're going to fit this pipe to start with. And it. Then the air outlet pipe. Just push it all the way in. Okay. Now we're just gonna make sure that the filter is sitting on the dampers, and then we're just gonna, there we go. So that's the air filter housing, air filter box sitting in nicely. It's not moving at all. Then the vacuum pipe goes in here. All the way in. Just gonna push it all the way in here. Then we're gonna secure this clamp here. Tubely clamp. For that we're gonna be using a 7mm socket. There we go. That's that nicely done. Next we're gonna bring this clamp over here and secure the pipe. There we go. So that's that done. So that's the air filter box fully secured as well. Right, there we go. So next what we're going to do, we're going to change the pollen filter on this Audi Q3. So the location for the pollen filter is under the glove box area here. So what happens is here, I've noticed that the cover here is already missing. So there should have been this clip here and another clip here holding the cover. So you just remove these clips and the one here, you just undo them and the cover drops down, or you can put your finger in and pull the cover down. So what you do here is you just pull this cover to the left like this, and that's how the pollen filter drops down. There we go. So this pollen filter is proper dirty. I don't think it's been changed for the last couple of years. So here is the new pollen filter. Right, there we go. So just gonna fit this pollen filter. So just gonna slide it in here. That is. just gonna push it all the way up like this. Okay, so that's the pollen filter fully home. Then the lid comes in here like this, and then just gonna slide it to the right. There we go. That's the pollen filter lid fully secured. Right, here we go. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to fill the engine up with fresh oil. So we're using a make called Granville VX0W20, fully synthetic. So we paid £40 for this engine oil. And the capacity for this Audi Q3 1.4 petrol engine is 4 liters of engine oil. So that's what we're going to do now. So just going to fill the engine up. Right, here we go, friends. The oil level is at max now. So that is the 4 liters of engine oil we have poured in. So just gonna put the lid back on. There we go. And then the cover goes in. So these two studs go in here like this.